So in about a month, the YouTube video editor is going away, and I'll tell you why I actually think they're really pulling this. This is a very convenient tool for creators who just use their phone or upload a bunch of clips and then cut them together with the YouTube video editor into the completed video. Now, turned out that I had over 500 clips on my channel that were private that made up, you know, about 30 or 40 videos, and that's disk space on their servers. And I have a feeling a lot of people were doing that. They would just upload the videos, paste them together, cut them together, create the video that was then public, and then leave, you know, hundreds and hundreds of clips on the YouTube server. But anyway, they say they're getting rid of this, and there's a lot of people that depend on this that I know. Maybe they don't have expensive computers, or they don't have the budget to go out and buy a new computer, or they don't feel the need to go out and buy a new computer to create videos that basically just cost them time more than anything, don't really see a big return on it. So I can appreciate that. So this is YouTube taking away one more tool that creators had to make it easier to create content. I used it quite a bit. At first, when they promoted it, they said that was the best way. Just upload your videos directly to YouTube and then use the YouTube editor to edit them and put them together, and that was the best possible quality for your viewers. Well, it was also real convenient. Just like now, I'm kind of just shooting this on the fly with my phone. I just upload them from my phone and then put them together in the editor. This video you're about to watch is done in the YouTube editor. So anyway, yeah, I understand why they're doing it, but kind of another notch in the block. This is a 1969 Zenith combo unit, AM FM stereo, color television. You see it's got a replacement CRT there. The original CRT would have had that green Zenith glow to it. And over here we have our, which is a little bit off center right now, but our Zenith, what is this, a Micro Touch. So we got a couple problems with this thing. I also like these louvered doors to direct the sound. These are pretty cool. Got a couple problems with this. First one is the vertical output transformer failed in the color television. It's a hybrid set, tube and transistor and IC mix. Trying to find one right now. They have a high failure rate in these Zeniths. They primary tends to blow through to the secondary or the convergence windings. And the other problem we got here is the stereo decoding is not working on the AM FM stereo. I'm not getting a stereo light, and I can hear that it's not stereo.
Winston found and handed over 2 creased and filthy notes which Parson entered in the smoke.
I want to get a copyright strike on Sugar Kisses. So I got the schematic here for it, and it's from 1969. This is a schematic for it, quite extensive. We got 4 stages of FMIF, and the 4th one is an IC. This is the area we're going to be working on right here, the stereo demodulation. And there's a couple of electrolytics here that I want to change before I try and do any type of alignment or play with the transistors. There's one right there, a 5 microfarad. And there's another one here on the indicator control, which is another 5 microfarad. And I also want to check that stereo indicator lamp. Sorry, I'm using the phone, that's why the slow focus. Yeah, fairly extensive. Not a cheap, cheesy radio by any means. This is class act all the way. High quality class act. This is looking at the Zenith AM/FM stereo tuner, and that we're going to repair. And I think it's going to be very difficult to get this out of here because it's an all-in-one unit. You can see we have a bunch of those undesirable transistors right in there. Those are those epoxy dome early transistors, and this is the FM stereo decoder section right here, and it's got those crappy epoxy dome top transistors that have such a high failure rate, or at least seem to. So I'm going to work on getting this out. I assume what happens is you got to unscrew this and then it lifts up. But it's going to be quite intensive to get it out of here. Of course, the electrolytics are on the back. And like I say, I want to check those before I do anything, because I could try and align a problem that doesn't exist. So we'll take a look at this when I manage to get this thing out of here. I'm sure everybody wants to see the inside of the TV, so we'll take a look at that. Keep in mind, Zenith invented the stereo encoding format that we still use today, so this should be work pretty good when it's done. You can see it's all tubes. It's got a transistor there. There's the IC right there. See that little thing with all the pins? That's the color demodulation IC. Solid state IF. It's our remote module. Tuner. Of course, the top is missing off the tuner. Can is missing off the I hope that stuff's in here. I see the flyback can. Yeah, I don't know why people take the tops off the tuner and don't put them back on. That's so aggravating. It's got a replacement CRT 75. Someday we'll get to this. Try this again with the video stabilization off. So basically there's 6 screws I can see that hold this thing in. There's one down there in the corner, one over here in this corner, and then there's 4 up top. There's the one you can see right there, and then there's one which I already removed at the front that you can't really get to. And the same thing over here. There's one right there and then one at the front. Basically I had to use this 1/4 inch with a swivel to get it out. And I don't know how I'll ever get it back in. I don't think I will get those 2 back in.
Well, this might be the most triumphant lead-in for a ticket giveaway ever.
Before I get into it too deep, I figured I would check the stereo pilot lamp, and it is bad. It's the gold one there, and the silver one is the replacement, and that is I believe it's a 1619, which is a 28 volt at 40 milliamp lamp. And you can't just put any lamp in these stereo pilot lights, because remember, there's a little tiny transistor that drives it. So if you put a 300 milliamp bulb in there, you'll cremate the transistor. So let's pop that in and see if it actually lights up now.
Hearing that it's going, it's just like there's something happening. If it were dead quiet here, I'd be really worried.
Dr. Newman came to Children's National. He might like to be a doctor. He's seen a lot of doctors in the past few months.
Weird, the stereo separation actually sounds better now. I wonder if that lamp has something to do with it. We're still going to pull it out and check the capacitors though, and maybe align it. I did buy a ST1000A stereo alignment generator. So yeah, we'll take a look at that in a while. I don't think this is stereo from the source. I should just let this go and see if YouTube nails it. Yes, we have radio stations that still play vinyl like this. The stereo separation is working much better now, just with the replacement of that lamp. I don't know if that lamp has something to do with it, but I can actually hear stereo separation now, like really good. I don't know if I'm going to pull it apart or not. I got to think about this, because it sounds really good right now. Alright, the plans have changed a little bit on this, kind of out of my control. What we're going to do is we're going to just check the alignment on the Zenith combo unit tuner with the ST1000A as far as separation. And basically the way I've got this set up is this has a tape output. And I have that fed in here to the scope into channel 1 and 2. So what we're going to do, and I have the RF here fed into the external antenna port on the receiver. So here's what we're going to do. Let's see, let's turn this all the way down. And we'll go to stereo. We'll do right plus left, 1 kilohertz. Let's see, let's set the pilot about. It seems like most good radios, the pilot kicks in about right there. That's usually enough. All right, so let's do this. Now to try and get this thing to sync up, it's always fun. All right, there we go. Now what we'll do is we'll go to right only, and we'll go to left only. The separation's fair. I think it could be a little bit better. So that's right channel only. That's both channels. Right channel only. Left channel. Let me turn the pilot up a little bit. That's turning the pilot down. See, I think it could be a little bit better. I'd like to check those capacitors, but it's so much labor to get this thing apart. I might just tweak on it just a little bit. It's these 3 cans right here, and see if we could get that any better. Okay, so I'm going to start right here. Wow. That didn't take much. And there's only 1 slug in that can. That's turning the pilot down, up. Let's try the other one here. Okay, and then the last one. One of them's a trap. That one's a trap. I'm not going to screw with that one. Probably want to align it so there's no... Probably want to align it like that so there's no out of phase distortion. So let's see. That's going back to right only. So that's it. The other cool thing we can do with this, which I displayed on a radio, is we'll turn AFC off. And then what we'll do is we'll put it on mono. And I'll just tune off station. You see the distortion appears on one side. You see the distortion appears on the other side. You turn the RF down. Yeah, so there you go. That's a quick stereo alignment. I've had to kind of rush this video because they're pulling the plug on the YouTube video editor. And I'm going to go back right now and cut a video talking about that in the beginning of the video. So, yeah. Let's see. Let's kill this. Oh yeah, I can hear a difference for sure.
Is Chuck video camera to have worked with?
That was a big. And he. All the ladies out there.
Oh yeah. There's really no music on this time of the morning. It's like 6:30 in the morning. Oh yeah, I don't want no scrub. Yeah, so when you don't want no scrub, that's got to be in wide stereo.
On the last of
That is not my favorite.
It's a hybrid.
Yeah, it's all get me to work talk shows this time of the morning. I'm going back to K-Jazz. I can't handle it. I just... Look at the difference. You can actually see the stereo in that. Even though this radio station's really weak here. So we call this a mobile trash can ashtray. This is like a 1992 Ford Escort. I'm sure I'll get a bunch of hell for videoing this, but the thing about comedy is exaggeration, and this is exaggerated. These are all fast food wrappers, and the car is packed absolutely solid. Excess and exaggeration make comedy, so have a laugh. And it would be so appropriate that Mark Morrison Return of the Mac has just come on the radio. You know, this would be such an awesome way to smuggle anything. There's no way the cops would ever, if they pulled this over, open this up and take all of this out of here. You could pack drugs, weapons, anything in this vehicle, and you would never get busted. Just getting so excited over those Terryton cigarettes. Whew, I can hardly contain myself.